Buenos dias, muchachos. It is AJ of the Mighty Glue Stick. How's it going? It's time for another monster video. Yay! I know I'm supposed to be doing some more incorporeal undead, but it's my channel. I do what I want. So I'm about to start crafting a Behir. Here's the starting of it. This is an aluminium foil armature that I'm doing for it. And I just wanted to talk about the Behir because I was thinking about it today, as you do before you start making something. So first of all, it's not a dragon, and anybody who's read the Monster Manual, 5th edition Monster Manual, will know that, or who has dealt with Behirs in the past. Behirs. They are created ages and ages ago, long ago, possibly bred by the giants in order to fight the dragons. So they are natural foes of the dragons, and they have a racial enmity with them. So they can't cohabitate with dragons at all. They just do not get on with dragons, and if they're forced to be in the presence of dragons for very long, violence will ensue. So Behirs are designed as combining the best elements of both the serpent and the lizard, basically. So they have constricting coils, which are deadly and very vicious, bludgeoning attack, and good for close-in combat. So they are able to restrain even something as mighty as a dragon by wrapping around it, and they've got a impressive 12 legs in order to six pairs of legs all down their body that they can latch onto their target as well. Also, it gives them a natural ability to climb around in their preferred environment, which is inaccessible caverns and shafts and volcano calderas and chasms and all that sort of thing. They love sheer surfaces that they can clamber around in, and twisting and winding caverns are their preferred terrain. It's because they are the pinnacle predators in that sort of environment. Nothing really has it on a Behir apart from possibly dragons. So and also they have curled horns, so they're often mistaken for a dragon or dragonkin because of those horns, those curled horns on their heads, ram-like horns, but they are in fact serpents. And they also have a elemental attack, which is their fearsome lightning ray attack. So they can emit a blinding bolt of lightning out of their mouth, similar to, I guess, Godzilla. So you can imagine that they coil up. Some sort of chemical process goes on inside their body. You can hear it charging up with a devastating hum, and then boom, they release this blinding bolt of electricity that makes a booming sound. Now that I was thinking about that, and that gives them a certain amount of utility for such underground races as dwarves, because a bolt of electricity would be really good at smelting metal. They use it for smelting aluminium because it manages to melt the metal without oxidizing it. So Behirs aren't inherently evil to all the other races. In fact, they're neutral evil, so they're basically self-serving. But if you were to get on the good side of a Behir, because they have an intelligence of 7, they can reason, they have a wisdom of 14, so they know a good deal when they see it. If dwarves get on the good side of Behirs, or perhaps raise the Behir from a young hatchling, they could actually use them in an industrial process and perhaps tame them or give them a preferred environment where they can patrol around and protect the dwarves' interests, because dwarves and dragons generally don't get on. Dragons like to take everything that dwarves have. So Behirs would be a natural ally of the dwarven people, and I could certainly see some sort of cool setup where you're invading a dwarven citadel or something like that, and they release a squad of Behirs, or even dwarves riding Behirs that can just go straight up caverns and things like that, and release fearsome bolts of lightning. So they've got a natural armor class of 17. They've got 168 hit points and a challenge rating of 11, so they are fearsome solo predators, and a pair of these would be devastating, absolutely. They've got a speed of 50 and a climbing speed of 40. They are blindingly fast, some of the fastest legged creatures in the book by far. That means that they could keep pace with a dragon underground. but obviously wouldn't pursue one if it took off in the air. They would basically just, chase after it, hissing and crackling. They can speak Draconic. They've got dark vision of 90 foot, passive perception of 16. They're immune to lightning. Obviously, they're very stealthy. Got a +7 to stealth and a +6 to perception, so that you won't see them until they're right on top of you in their own environment. They have a multi-attack feature, which makes they make 2 attacks, one with its bite and one is a constricting attack. The bite attack it's got a reach of 10 foot and it does 22 points of piercing damage. It's a wicked chomp. And their constrict does 17 points of bludgeoning damage. The +10 to hit with that one. Plus 17 points of slashing damage because of the claws. And the target is grappled with an escape DC of 16. If the Behir isn't already constricting a creature, the target is restrained until the grapple ends, obviously, because it's not getting out of the Behir's grip. And of course, they've got their lightning breath, which exhales a line of lightning up to 20 feet long and 5 feet wide. Each creature in that line must make a DC 16 saving throw or take 66 points of wham damage. Woo-hoo! Eat your heart out, Nikola Tesla. Half the damage, obviously, on a successful saving throw, dodging out of the way. All those lucky guys who can get out of the way completely. Swallowing, Behirs are also able to swallow man-sized, medium or smaller targets that they're grappling, so they can just down go the sandals. Oh! So while swallowed, the target is blinded and restrained, obviously, and it has total cover against attacks that affects outside the Behir. It takes 21 acid damage at the start of each of the Behir's turns, and the Behir can only have one creature swallowed at a time. So imagine it's sitting in a gullet, possibly with some rocks and something like that, or spines and things like that that are keeping him from climbing back out. If the Behir takes 30 points of damage or more in a single turn from a swallowed creature, the Behir must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution saving throw or regurgitate the creature. What? If the Behir dies, the swallowed creature is no longer restrained and it can escape from the corpse by using 15 feet of movement, exiting prone, covered in slime and sizzling acid, no doubt. So yeah, it's a gullet that it's got you in, and it keeps you there, probably by valves and spines and things like that. So yeah, very cool creature, and it's kind of a blank slate. It's one of those creatures listings where I would use that to base other type of cavern terrain creatures like mutants and serpents and things like that. The Behir fits the bill for most of the serpentine giant sort of creatures that aren't dragons. So giant snakes, that sort of thing. If there's a snake cult or something like that, certainly Behirs would feature. So you can give them as much or as little personality as you want. They have goals and motives of their own, and they like to be the top of the food chain in their little zone of influence. So yeah, Behir's very good creature. I like him. I'm going to sculpt one because I think they're visually awesome looking creatures. And they pose really well because they've got all those legs and stuff, and they're twisting and turning. Yeah. So yeah, guards for dwarven communities, perhaps Drow might be on the good side of Behir as well. Just because they're neutral evil doesn't mean they're evil against, they're selectively evil. They're evil because of their own motivations. So their natural instinct is to be predatory, and they will hunt and kill humanoids if they don't have a good reason not to. So yeah, Behir. And oh yeah, the relationship with giants. Ooh, you could spin that all sorts of ways. That perhaps they hate giants because giants were once their masters, or perhaps the giants are their masters still. And you could find giant magical instruments which could control Behir. Certainly something that I would throw into a campaign because it makes perfect sense. And also dragons would have a natural inclination to avoid Behir because if they get into melee combat with a Behir, the Behir will make short work of a dragon. Yeah, because that's what they're designed to do. That's their entire focus. And personally, I think dragons would have some method of defending themselves against Behir if they know that Behir are in their environment, or they will be on the lookout if they even suspect that Behir are around. Yeah, so good little critter. Hope you enjoyed this one. Likes, comments down below, please. I always love to hear your suggestions for monsters and your experiences using Behir in your games, and any requests for other monsters that you'd like me to cover. And after this, of course, we've got BrigadeCon coming up. Be sure to tune into the Masters of Monsters show that Gadara and Locarius and I are putting on for you. Thanks for watching, everyone.